Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today, I'm going to be doing the Cotton Cuts month 6. And for all of those that are in the Facebook group, you saw that I was waiting on my Kathy. This is my Nadia. Kathy is the one that I'm doing for my daughter-in-law. This is what it's going to look this time. It's going to be all flying geese. It's going to be super duper easy to do. I was waiting for that one to come because when my Nadia came, it didn't come. Normally they come in 2 different packages and it did not come on the same exact day. So I reached out to them and they got me another month 6. And already they're shipping out month 7. So I saw that when I was in there making a comment. So they have given us for the, they've given us the December Cotton Cuts block of the month. That's this one here. And you know there's a contest, so if you color the back of it, and by January 15, use hashtag CC Color Challenge for a chance to win a prize. Here's the back. That's what you want to be coloring. It's whatever color you want. Alrighty, and then they're advertising their Chroma Thread Club, if any of you don't know anything about it. Okay, and they also have Chroma Fabric. Okay, it's a rolling 12-month program with different, this right here is the one with this is the threads for each month. You can join anytime you want. All of the deliveries ship on the 10th of each month. And then I'm going to flip it over so you can see the back of it. Let's see, it's Petite Pop, which is 12 weight or 50 weight. And I want to say that the 12 weight is the embroidery, I believe. 50 is your sewing thread. It's available in Pop, which is 12 weight or 50 weight. Oh, excuse me. So the Petite Pop is 4 by 200. I'm going to guess it's, oh gosh, I'm not sure what the M is represented in the thread for the spool. It's 1 variegated, 2 solids, and 1 white. It starts at $18.45 a month. The Pop is 6 by 200, and it's the spool, I guess. Same size, 12 or 50 weight. That's what it's available in. And then you get a variegated, you get 4 solids and a white. That one starts at $25.95 a month. And then you can get a Super Pop, which is available in the 50 weight, and it's 1 variegated and 2 solids starting at $27.95. And then here is the information on the back. And you saw on the front while I had it held up, your monthly color theme so that you would have a clue. January was your low volume, February's pink, March is green, April is violet, May is teal, June is yellow, July is blue, August is purple, September is black and gray, October is orange, November is brown, and December is red. All right, so there's that information. And then I will show you, it's 3 colors this month, and I'll show you here on my design board. All right, here's your colors. A is the, in my case, it's the little one with the, I think it's fox. I don't think it's kitty cats. I'm not quite sure, but it's got little animals and such on it. This fabric here is F, and this fabric is E. And we're going to make our flying geese. We're going to use G and F on the side, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to chain stitch them all. I'll do the right side first, then I'll do the left. And I did change my plate out to a circle instead of the oval, hoping that will cut down on the fabric being pulled into the plate. I hope for the best. You know, this fabric is so soft, so I'm really going to watch it for the jamming factor. Whoops, look at that. That tried to go right down underneath my sewing machine. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you, I took a nap. My dogs woke me up because my neighbor came home. Of course, when you live in a townhome, everybody's got every little noise they hear. I had a little glass of milk. And when I say a glass, well, it wasn't glass. It was like 2 sips of milk. And it has literally upset my stomach, and I have no idea why. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here and I have such a stomach ache. I tell you, all kinds of things set you off anymore when you get older for no reason at all. You know, I could see if I just had a big meal or something, which I haven't, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. It was nice and cold too, but maybe my body don't want any milk today. I had a bit of indigestion. I'm wondering if my My Tums and my milk together are not agreeing. Maybe that's the problem. I did eat one. Well, it's not even a Tum, it's whatever that generic stuff is. But maybe the two of them don't like each other in my stomach. So all we're doing is just chain stitching these. I'll probably have to get some music out here. Otherwise, this is going to be boring, man. So, so here, I know what I was interested in asking you guys. Is anybody doing that? If it's a challenge or what it is, but it's that thing that Becca's doing where they're all making those flying geese this month. I didn't catch the beginning of that, so I'm not quite sure how that plays out. I know you make a flying geese. Do you just make one flying geese for each week, or do you doing one for the month? I saw the other day where she had said that she didn't do any kind of exercise, so she did just a plain rectangle on the bottom of it. I didn't catch the beginning of that. So I'm not quite sure how that works. I mean, I could follow along and do it, but I'm not sure. I think she's it's just eating healthy. She's not dieting of any sort, doing healthy food and things like that, you know, and being honest with yourself. So I don't think you have to make one and have the geese going up if you lost weight. It's just if you were good for the week, and you would know if you were or not. I mean, it's your honesty that's going to count. So you can make a comment and tell me. I'm even not sure if she's the first one that did it, or if there's quite a few that did it, or if we're all just following along, or what the story is. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be doing any exercise if I follow along and do that. I don't have a problem eating right, but I have a problem. I have no time to do any kind of exercise. I don't think coming upstairs every single day is exercise. And although I have to come up and down the steps constantly, so my restrooms are up here on this floor. My sewing is on this floor. I sleep on this floor. I'm gonna last and go hug that toilet for a minute here and get rid of this milk. They're really tearing me up. And it's not regular milk. It was lactose intolerant, because I don't do regular milk. I discovered that I'm lactose intolerant, so I buy that kind of milk. And like I said, it was only a sip. I mean, I didn't even pour a cup. I just poured a little bit and covered the bottom of my coffee cup just to get a sip, because I was thirsty when I woke up. I should have just had some water, I guess. I'm so glad this came. Tell you what, I feel like I'm so behind. Just got month 5 done. Now I'm doing month 6, and they're already shipping out month 7. And we're just going to put all these together. We're going to make, I think it's 4 sets of 4 sets of 4, I believe. So it's not going to take a long time. I like my colors here, the light color. It's kind of weird that each, I'm calling them wings because, you know, they're flying geese, but each one has its own color instead of it being a variation of a color. Usually you make your flying geese and they're the right and the left wing are the same. I mean, it's not that it has to be. Normally when you're doing a pattern, they are. But... And you know, I didn't order the next one, the cotton cuts, because I did 2 of them this time around. I think I'm going to sit and take a break so I can do some other videos. Because I'm so behind on the videos that I was in the middle of doing that I don't have time to get them done. And I got a memory quilt to make for somebody. So that's going to take a bit of my time. I haven't quite decided on that yet. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to make, it's not necessarily t-shirts, so I don't have to make, you know, cut all the logos and all that out. This is just some shirts that he had. So I'm not quite sure. I haven't taken a good look in the box yet. I might have to, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go wash them because we've got, had a cats, and I can't have the shirts in here with all that cat hair. She won't be able to come in here at all, and then I don't know how soon I can get that cat hair out of here. I don't want it on everything because she just can't do that. I can't wait till that pill gets out. Isn't there some pill or something that's going out that I don't know if a person can take it? It's like an antihistamine, I guess. I'm not quite sure. To keep you from being allergic to the cats. I think first they were talking about giving it to the cat every day, and then, or once a month, and now it's person taking it, so I'm not quite sure. I wasn't staying up on it. She's the one that told me about it. It'd be perfect for all those people that can't be around cats. That's for sure. Alrighty, so this time I'm coming from the bottom up, and you want to be careful because, you know, doing these flying geese, we're on the bias. Unless you're using paper. You're doing like a paper piecing. can tell you right now, I've done the other yet, but even though I'm going to be putting these both outward, they probably should be ironed. One set should be ironed inward because we're going to be putting them together and they're going to need to be nestled. But I don't have a problem when I've got to turn it. I used to, but anymore I don't have a problem. Because actually, instead of having to turn your whole entire thing, there's nothing that says you got to do the whole thing. You can do part of your strip. When I get ready to iron it, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And it doesn't affect any quilting or anything when you're doing it, unless you're doing in the ditch, but then it still doesn't affect it that much because it's only a small amount that's been done like that. It's not the whole thing. And then this way you have control over this very end piece, so you can make sure that that matches up there, because if it's a little short, you can pull a little taut and you got it. And it'll never be short on this end up here at the tip, which is a lot of times where it's short. I don't know why, but that's where it ends up being short. Well, Sherry was going to come over, but her little Yorkie was sick all night. And because he was sick, she was up all night, taking him outside constantly. I do not know what is going on with him. I think that he's becoming so old, he can't tolerate dog food. And I think that's what it is, because she went out when he was real sick a while back, and he lost, first off, he weighs 7 pounds, so he's not very big. And he was so sick, he lost down to 2 pounds. Which, of course, you know, I didn't know about this till it's all over with. That's when I found out. Anyway, so I told her to go one day and don't feed him, and then start feeding him baby food. And when I say baby food, I'm not talking junior food. I'm talking baby, the mushy stuff, you know. So she looked to see, and got a baby food that doesn't have any kind of sugar, you know, it has no sugar, no salt, no nothing, just straight out baby food. And fed him that, and he held it down. So she slowly built him up with the baby food, and then she tried to, which is what I found out, tried to sneak that dog food back in there, and I said, nope. And sure enough, as soon as she tried to sneak that dog food in it, he got sick. I said, no. I said, I think he's getting to the age where he can't stand it. They may have changed the formula of the dog food, because, you know, every so many years they have to change it to keep their patent. And they got to do something different to it. And I said, and him getting old, he probably can't take it anymore. I said, so you're going to have to put him on baby food. And I did find a canned food that looked really good at the store. And she opened it, and he ate it, and he was fine. I said, well, right now, that's what he's going to need. And of course, you know, pumpkin. Not the pumpkin that you buy that's got all the ingredients and you just have a few more things to add to it to make pumpkin pie. Not that pumpkin. The other pumpkin, I call it the plain pumpkin. It's usually in the big can. That and squash are the two things that settle your stomach when they're upset. So she gave him some pumpkin and he kept it down. I said, you're going to have to go back on that regimen again. And he's going to have to stay off the dog food. That's all there is to it. No dog food, no treats, no bones, nothing of that sort, because that's too rough on his stomach anymore. He had started gaining his weight back, too. That's what was surprising. He really gained it real fast, and now he's back to square one. I mean, not that he's down to 2 pounds, but it worries the dickens out of me. I want to think he is 14. I think she said he was 14 years old. I think, oh gosh, I can't remember how old he is. That's what happens when you get them rescued. You really don't know what their age is. Kind of guess by whatever somebody says. Where you get them from, and then they're not even right about that. They're usually older. They're trying to push them off as younger dogs because they don't think people will buy an older dog. Anyway, I had him over, was it 2 weekends ago, and he was doing a lot better then. I clipped his toenails for him. Did a little trimming around his face and everything, but I told her he needs to come over here. He is, I tell you, that little dog's toenails grow so fast. I have never in my life seen a dog's nails grow so fast. And then they start curling. And he had believe it or not, his little, what the heck do you call that one that's on the side of your leg on a dog? Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't think of what it's called. But that one, it got so long that it literally turned in on him and caused an infection in his leg. I didn't know this, though. They took him to the vet and found out about it. And I said, for crying out loud, bring him over sooner and let me clip his toenails. Poor little thing is in pain. So she brought him over. And it's funny that now my Yorkie, I don't know what she does. She never needs her back nails clipped. She always needs her front nails clipped. He needs all of his clipped. And Dewey runs enough outside in the backyard and he never needs his nails clipped. So I guess it's just special, just the way they grow. But I said, we're going to give him 2 weeks and I want him back over here and I want to cut those nails shorter. Because I didn't get them too short because they're so darn long. You know, I didn't want to get into his quick, get him to bleeding on me. So I said every 2 weeks, bring him over, I'll clip off a little bit. I mean, I clipped off quite a bit last week. I mean, it doesn't take that long. She just holds him and I clip him so fast. And Dewey's about ready for a haircut. They don't really mind that, the haircut. Got about 3 of these left. And then we'll open them up and we'll join them so we can make our sets. I got a book that I started reading, but oh my gosh, I read it for about 15-20 minutes at work during my lunch hour, so that's going to take me forever to read. I hate to even start talking about that book. And of course it's going to be a detective or a solving a murder type book. That kind of thing is going to be in it. Not that I don't think the characters that I'm reading about, I don't think they're the ones going to solve the storyline. They had gone over, I think it's 3 women. I don't know if they're married. There wasn't enough detail talked about the girls. Just that I guess about their jobs. Because the one doesn't really have a job and she wanted a job. And so they were, which I thought was kind of funny. So, you know, all your friends help you when you say you want to get a job. When you say you don't want to do something specific, then they just suggest some other things to do. And they were suggesting, I don't know who the elderly man is. I don't know if he's a grandpa or what, but they said, well, you like to do flowers, so you could work in the garden. And really it was clean up his lawn and everything because the elder man had put his wife in the nursing home. Alrighty, so what I've done is I split them up into 2 piles because we're going to sew these to these and these to these. We're going to do that first and we're going to chain stitch. Alrighty, so now we're just sewing these together. So in this, the girls that went over to do his yard, he was grateful. Now when his wife first had to go into the nursing home, he was beside himself, but now that she's gone, he got himself in a routine. He watches a little television, you know, does his own little kind of thing, so now he doesn't miss her so much, but he welcomed the company, you know, of these girls. And like I said, one of them, I think it's their grandpa. And so they told him they were going to do his yard. And he said, okay, fine. And, you know, now the reason they're doing the yard is they want the one girl that if she likes this, because, you know, she doesn't know if she likes it yet or not. But if she likes it, then she can do it for a living. And she can hire herself out, you know, the whole thing. So anyway, so they go outside. One of them has come dressed not to be doing anything in the yard. That's the one that's supposed to be the one that's excuse me. So the one that's supposed to be doing the stuff in the yard hasn't even dressed appropriately. She dressed like she's going out on a date or something. Everything's matching, you know. So they go and they get some gloves and whatnot, and they're out there and they like split up from each other, so they're all going to their own area. So there was like rose bushes that need to be clipped, and then there was weeds that need to be pulled, and she says, I don't know one weed from a flower. She goes, I'm afraid I'm going to pull the flowers out thinking that they're weeds because I can't tell the difference. So they're all doing whatever I don't know who was in charge, but whatever she felt was appropriate, that's how they're all out there. So she said, well, okay, well, so just dig in the soil because, you know, you need to dig up the soil around the roses to get them to flourish. So she's the one girl out there that's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be learning, you know, that this is going to be her job. She starts screaming and hollering. Oh my gosh. So they run over there to her real quick and they go, what? And she goes, oh my God. She goes, there's these things in the ground. And she goes, well, what kind of things are they? They turned out to be earthworms, for crying out loud. She was scared of them. She goes, I can't dig. I can't do that. So then they said, all right, we'll do something else. Well, anyway, so they're all out there doing whatever. And then all of a sudden, the dog, because the dog was out there too, started digging in a spot. And so she was, you know, calling the dog's name. And next thing you know, the dog has unearthed some bones. So, of course, now she's screaming about that. So then they got to get the police out there. They don't want to upset Grandpa. So they don't tell him anything about it. So, of course, the first thing they're thinking is, oh, my gosh, they don't really know the background. And when I say the background, like where their grandparents have come from. They think they've come from, like, another country. So they think that their grandma, or the one girl's grandma, which I think her name was Mavis, that maybe she was involved because she had some kind of shady past that nobody knew about. I mean, not their memories, their minds were just running amok, I'm telling you. Well, so the police come out, and of course, you know, they've got all these questions asked and everything. Finally, Grandpa comes out and he goes, what? You know, and he's like, well, we don't know who that belongs to, and you know. So he goes back in, and they figure they're going to go to the nursing home, and they're going to ask some questions. So they get to the nursing home, and I don't know if all of y'all have had anything to do with being in nursing homes before, but you have some people that are confused in the nursing homes, and of course those are the people that latch on you when you come walking in. And so this is a small town, so they all know each other, you know. So the one lady, the little elderly lady, says, are you so and so? And she goes, no, I'm not. And she goes, well, is my daughter coming to visit? And so then you get a little bit of history of that. And she goes, no, she won't be visiting you today. And she goes, oh. So she sits down. So then the three of them go off to the side, and they're talking, and she goes, isn't that a shame? She goes, her daughter's only been here one time. Her daughter doesn't even live here in America. Her daughter lives in Australia. She's only seen her one time since she come to a nursing home, and every single day she asks, is my daughter coming? Is my daughter coming? See, that's the sad part about the nursing home, is if you don't even have family that live in the same state, in this case, the same country that you do, they're never going to come visit. Here's the back I was talking about. So it's been ironed this way, but when I put it together, you have to nestle it, okay, to split it up like this. So, of course, this is fine, but on the other side, it had to be twisted. So right here is where I twisted it. So when I go to iron it, I'll just iron it like this. And if you iron that and you lay that down with your iron, that's not going to affect you sewing this. Alrighty? That's what I was talking about before. Now we're going to turn around and do the same thing again, keeping in mind that in our picture, our geese go upward. So we're going to have to put two like this, like that, and then two more so that we've got 6, and they all go up. All right, so then we're just going to combine all of these. We'll have these 2, because we're doing 4, remember? And that's another 2. Just want to make sure you keep them separate. That, because when you get done, I feel like I'm missing some pieces here. The whole total is this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even have that in the camera. Let's go with one a little bit closer here. Let's look at this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is it. We'll be done. Once we sew these together, we're finished because it's 4. And you have 4 sets of 4. Okay? And what I do is I just pen this, take it, pinch this right here, because this is where we have to nestle it right there at the corner. Just like that. Nestle it. I put a pin on it so it doesn't flip over on me when I'm sewing. Like this. Just like that. And then what I do is I'll go up here, hold on to it, and then I'll put one more right there so I can make sure that I pull that taut when I'm sewing it, so there's no gathering in here. And I'll do every one of them like that. So there'll be 4 of them sitting here, and we'll just chain stitch them. Now Mavis, and I want to think that Grandpa's name is George. I don't know why, but they seem to go together. So Mavis got dementia, so George kept her at home for the longest time, but it got to the point where all he was doing constantly was out looking for her, because she would get out of the house, she's out in the neighborhood, she's lost. A couple times she would walk to the store. You wouldn't think that people that are with dementia could find themselves at a store miles away from their home, but I'm going to tell you, you sure can. They walk all over and they have no clue where they're walking. And sometimes they are literally on a mission, so they really hustle. But anyway, so the store people, the people at the store, they were calling up and saying, George, she's here, or he'd come by every day and say, she come this way, and so it was getting to the point where he couldn't keep track of her, and that's all he was doing, constantly. And then she was getting into everything, and she wouldn't stay out of stuff, like in the refrigerator, and, well, it was just more than he could handle. He was totally frustrated. And He doesn't have a good heart, so of course, you know, this just was more of a strain on him. And so when they go to the nursing home, it's not that they're going to talk to Mavis, because Mavis has her good days and her bad days. And this was not one of her good days when they showed up. But you know, in a nursing home, there's people in there that have all their cognitive functioning. People go to nursing homes for a lot of different reasons. I have aunts that sold their homes and put themselves in nursing homes because they were at the point where they didn't want to bother with the house. They didn't want to have to worry about going to the grocery store. I mean, now, these aunts that I'm talking about, they are all up into their 90s, okay? So they're all over 95 years old, my aunts that did this. So they sold their homes, they sold their cars, and they went into the, and it's like a assisted living type thing, because the nursing home that they went into, and they're all the same sisters that were living in them. They had like their own little apartment buildings and everything. They took some of the stuff that they had from their house, you know. It's not like they were actually in the same area of the people that were being assisted to do their showering and all that. They were like in their own little apartments off to the side, but still in this same facility. I was trying to think of the one that's here, that's over there on the other side of town. I can't even think of it. I think in this town there's something called Georgetown. And I think that's the kind of place, if you're in the Maryland area, you know anything about those facilities, that's the kind of facility that that a couple of my aunts went to. And that's sort of what Mavis is in. So there was another lady that was there, and she's talking to the girls, because they're talking, you know, they all know each other, because like I said, there's a small little town. So there you go. And they turned out really, really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of month 6 for the cotton cuts. If you did, go ahead, ring the little bell. You can write a comment, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.